The more the merrier that know about this. This is an awesome discovery. I've been sharing it with all my friends. It's just, they do it and then they're like, yeah, we were in the kitchen. We were like testing things. It was amazing. It was so cool. So I implement this in my life. My kids do, my husband does. I guess you could say it's a lifesaver. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to find out what you are allergic to or what foods you are sensitive to without having to go to a doctor. Now you can go to a doctor and you can get an expensive test done, or you can just do it at home for free. So how do you do this, you ask? Well, it's a simple thing called muscle testing. You may have heard of it before, or you may have had it done to you before, but did you know you could do it on yourself? Let me show you how it works. So what you need to do is you need to go to your kitchen, go to your pantry, go to your fridge, get different things out to kind of see what you might be allergic to. First of all, I'm going to take flour. So flour is something that a lot of you may be allergic to. A lot of you watching probably have gut issues or food allergies or something, and you're trying to figure out what things don't sit right with you or what things might bother you. So flour is, a lot of you might be gluten intolerant or, just sensitive, I guess is what they call it. So what you do, you hold it in your hands. You have to do the standing up. And then you just kind of relax. You can close your eyes or you can leave them open, whatever. Sometimes closing your eyes helps you kind of focus a little bit. So you just hold it in your hands and then let your body move forward or backwards. Okay, so it moved forward. So that means that my body can handle that. Okay, so now let's say that gluten you can't handle, or maybe you can like that, but maybe the bread, let's see if maybe I can handle the bread. I can handle the bread, but let's say it said no, okay? No would mean your body would lean backwards, okay? So if your body leans backwards, that means something bothers you. So let's say the flour is okay, but let's say the bread was no. So maybe it's something inside the bread that you can't eat. I'm surprised by that. Normally I can't eat gluten, but let me tell you this. Different days it can change. One day you may be able to tolerate it, another day you may not. Maybe you ate something that made your stomach more sensitive, and so it can't handle it that day. That's a really good suggestion, is to try to test things every day to see if you are allergic to them. Do this initial thing though first, where you go to your pantry and you figure out what you are sensitive to. What I did is I got a notebook. I did this quite a few months ago, and I made a list of what I'm weak on. That means things that I'm probably allergic to. Things I'm semi-weak to. So that means maybe I didn't lean forward or back too much. Semi-strong, that means I could probably handle it pretty well. Or strong, those are things like kale and carrots, things that, probably most people could probably eat. And then the weak would be things that, gluten, eggs, cheese, different things like that, that a lot of people are probably sensitive to. So let's look, let's try another one, okay? So let's say sugar. A lot of people seem to be sensitive to sugar. Let's see if I can eat it, because it said no on here before, but let's see if that's changed. It said yes. Okay, so let's say for you it said no. So you could always try something else like honey or coconut sugar or something like that. Okay, let's try coconut. Okay, so coconut, you may think, oh, I can handle coconut, but you may be surprised at the answer of it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it said yes, I can handle it. Now let's try something else. I've got coconut manna and coconut oil, because sometimes the way they process it might be a little bit different and your body can't handle it. So let's see. Okay, so I can't handle coconut oil, and it may be because I lost my gallbladder and it's heavy in fat, so my body can't digest it well. So I do eat it a lot, so I guess that kind of surprises me a little bit, but it may be just today that I can't have coconut oil. It may be different tomorrow, because maybe I had something kind of fatty and my body doesn't want to try to digest this heavy fat, and so it's saying, no, don't eat that right now. So like I said, it's really good to just, before you eat something, to go and test and see if you can really handle it. Another thing that I know I'm sensitive to is chocolate. Okay, so I got pure cocoa powder here, and I also have a chocolate bar. So let's see the difference in that. So chocolate. Okay, you see my body's kind of swaying a little bit. It's kind of indecisive. It's like, well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. So let me focus a little bit more and see if it doesn't. Okay, so it said yes. Now these are one of those things where I'm like, okay, it was kind of iffy. So on my list, I would probably put like semi-strong, because it did end up saying yes. but it was kind of a little weak too because it wasn't sure if I wanted to go forward or backwards. So that's something you probably don't want to eat on a daily basis. So let's see if the chocolate bar then would work or not. So that one's okay. So it's, you know, sometimes they put milk in them and you might be sensitive to milk. So maybe you shouldn't eat that. Let's do, I know I'm allergic to tomatoes. I don't have a whole tomato because pretty much everyone in my house is allergic to them. But I've got salsa, and that's the same thing. You may be okay on tomatoes, but the salsa may be a little different. And maybe a red tomato is different than a green tomato. It's amazing how your body knows the differences in these things and whether or not it wants them. Okay, so see, I can't handle salsa because I'm very allergic to tomatoes. My sensitivities have gotten better over time. I've done a lot of, you know, cleanses and juice fasts and herbs and supplements and a little bit of energy healing and stuff. And this has really, really helped my, my gut to heal and all my sensitivities to kind of calm down and settle down. I've done a video also on muscle testing and supplements. So if you want to check that out, if you're kind of interested, if this has kind of gotten your attention on the muscle testing, and you could check that video out to see which supplements you should be taking. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Let's do, I've got like almonds and pecans. I tested and like none of the nuts I could do at all. Pecans were the only ones that I could handle. But let's try peanut butter, okay? Okay, it took a little bit, so, but it did say yes. So maybe today it's okay, maybe tomorrow it's not. Maybe I can handle it now. Maybe my food sensitivities are getting better, and so I can handle that. So I'm really excited because I thought some of these were gonna be no's. I thought sugar, gluten, I knew tomatoes probably would be. I thought the peanuts and stuff, I'm really shocked at that. And what I've done too is like cheese. I can handle cheese so much better now than I used to. Eggs, I was horrible on eggs and I'm so much better on that. I did a lot of energy healing and I might do a few videos on that to kind of show you a little bit of that because that's just amazing. It blows your mind, but it's amazing. But what I was saying is cheese, some cheeses I can handle, some I can't. I've even taken like an organic one that I couldn't handle and a non-organic and it was fine. So it's just the way it's processed or something. I don't know. Another very interesting thing that we like to do around the house, my kids even love to do this, is you go in the fridge and you have leftovers in there. And so then you go and you take those out and you're like, oh man, these are like 4 days old. Are they good? Are they not? You can muscle test that. So hold the leftovers and see and say, is this okay for me to eat? It might say yes. It might say no. You could even ask if it's kind of unsure, maybe say, does this have bacteria in it? Or is this going to upset my stomach? Or is there mold growing in this and I shouldn't eat it? Just different questions like that. So you can ask different questions to your body and it'll respond yes or no. And like I said, sometimes it's a little iffy. It's not 100%, but I mean, my husband and I, the first time we did this and discovered it, we were just like, okay, close your eyes. And we didn't see what the other person put in our hands. And so we would just like lean forward and be like, oh, cool. Or we'd lean back and then we'd be like, oh, wow, I'm surprised at that. So it's a really cool thing. And it's sometimes it's better that you don't know what you're testing on because then you kind of know that it is or isn't working because it's amazing. If you've tried this, let me know how it worked for you. And if you were surprised at some of the different things, share it with your friends because the more the merrier that know about this. This is an awesome discovery. I've been sharing it with all my friends. We just love it. And I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching.